All right. Had a good practice today. We're anxious for the opportunity to bounce back after a setback last weekend. Nothing better than going on the road for another league game and another great opponent. Playing a tremendously talented quarterback. They've got really good skill, senior skill around him. Guys that have played a lot of football, and there's two running backs. Particularly 21 are really explosive backs, and they're getting some, I think, used to the offense where they're really stressing people with tempo, stressing them with the spread formations, and he's breaking off big plays. So there's a lot of weapons there that we're having to worry about, and we're trying to get our guys to defend. So, without any questions.
A different coaching staff, obviously, and a different system. But when you look at Tate last year and you look at him this year, how do you figure out what he might do? How do you plan for him at this point?
Well, you have to plan for a guy who can do both things. He's got very strong arms. He does a great job of extending plays, and so that's one of our emphasis this week, is trying to keep him in the pocket. When he breaks out and extends plays on people, they do a nice job of converting routes, and he can throw it about a mile. So you've got to really do a nice job of hopefully containing him, and on the back end staying with guys expecting to have to cover for a while.
When you see that he's only run for 70 yards total all year, are you thinking, oh, this is the weekend he's going to start take off on us?
Are you trying to jinx us here? I think he's doing a good job of managing when he runs it. He's making good decisions. A lot of people are trying to take his run away, and so I think that's probably a factor in it. But when he wants to, he can make a lot of guys look silly with his speed.
When you look at their tape from week 1 to 4 or 5, are you seeing the offense kind of advance in their system?
Absolutely. It makes sense. It's a brand new system, new terminology at first. It takes a little while to get going. Most offenses do, but particularly when you put a brand new offense in. So, I wish we could have played them week 1, but we're playing them now, and we're playing, like I said, a quality opponent with really good coaches. They know what they're doing. So as they show guys, hey, this is what we mean by this, and this is what's got to get tweaked, they're taking to it, and we got to expect their best effort, and we are, and we better have our best effort to have a chance.
You mentioned 21, J.J. Taylor. He's 5'6", but 190 pounds.
Runs really, really hard, low to the ground, does a great job of spinning off of tacklers. He's a guy that, because he runs so low to the ground, you'd see him just use his hands and keep on running. I remember back when he was at Centennial when they played Bosco, and he ran Bosco out of the gym. Just they couldn't tackle him. And he's doing the same thing a lot of weeks here in the Pac-12. So our guys really know who that guy is, because he's a definite threat. And for a smaller guy, he runs very, very powerfully. He reminds me a little bit of like a Donnell Pumphrey from San Diego State. A guy that you look at, you don't think he's got that stature to run like he does, but he really does.
Coach Sumlin said Monday that he isn't sure whether Khalil Tate is 100% to play this weekend. Have you guys looked at any tape of the backups, and if so, what have you seen?
Well, yeah, we've seen Rodriguez in the back of some of the games. An athletic guy who can run their entire offense. I think Coach Sumlin's being coy. I'm just guessing. I think we're preparing to see Khalil.
Against Oregon, your defense showed a lot of fight, a lot of toughness, and they say toughness is something you can't really teach. The same thing goes with fight in your team. Where does that really stem from?
I think our guys have a lot of pride. I think we've got football players that have invested a ton. They believe in what Coach Wilcox is doing, and when you believe in the message, you believe in hard work, you put that hard work in, it hurts to lose. And so you're going to fight, strain, do whatever you can to win a football game. And it's important to our guys, especially at home, in front of our fans, in front of the student body. They're not going out and down without a fight.
Another place where your guys on your defense get a lot of messages from is from Coach Alexander. What really makes him a unique DB's coach?
Well, I think a couple of things. One, being in their shoes not that long ago, he relates to them. A guy who played at the highest level, so he's done what a lot of them aspire to do. And then third, because he's their age, he's listening to the same music, he's on all the social medias, and so I think he makes it fun for them. He can challenge them, yet still make it fun.
What's the approach when you're facing a guy like Poindexter, number 19, probably legit 6'5", 6'6"? What do the DBs have to do in a game like that?
Well, one of the things you try to do is be in the right leverage on him. He's a guy like the guy over at Stanford that they throw jump balls to, and they aren't 50-50 balls, they're 90-10 balls. So you got to try to knock timing off, and do a great job at the line of scrimmage to hopefully get the timing thrown off where he's not the target, and then he's got to go compete for the ball when it's thrown up to him, because he's done a really nice job this year too.
Talking to Rusty Becker here in a moment, what can you tell me about him?
I love him. I love the fact that he has really worked for everything he's gotten. He's probably, well, I'm not going to even say probably, he's not the most talented guy on our defense, but he's probably the hardest worker. And when we first got here, just seeing him move, I'm thinking, well, this is probably going to be a guy who's going to be a backup for us. And, great kid, worked hard. He's worked himself in a position where we feel good about putting him on the field, and he's made plays. And to see guys like that, it's like seeing a walk-on guy earn a scholarship. But he was already on scholarship. He could have gone, the easy route, but he didn't. That's not who he is, and he's worked his tail off to be a very competitive player in the Pac-12, and we're really glad that we have him.
Also been asked by your PR staff here to ask about Ashton Davis and what he's done for you guys.
Well, I think he's one of the premier safeties in our league. From an athletic standpoint, he gives you everything you want. He can cover receivers. He's a physical player. But to me, he's still just scratching the surface. He's still learning to play the game. Made tremendous strides from a year ago. Each week he's getting better. We're just trying to keep pushing that learning curve so that he starts playing with just natural. He plays with natural pop, but just playing where he's in a flow state where he's not thinking. He's still thinking just a bit, but when we can get him to play in a flow state, he's really going to be something special, I think.
Will you get to spend any time with your daughter while you're out there, or is it just business?
No, of course not. We'll find a way. But she's excited because we're going to have a lot of family out there. And, I told her, I said, unfortunately, your mom's going to be wearing cow gear. So just brace yourself for that, because, someone's got to, we're not going to survive on your paycheck. So, no, it'll be great to see her. She's doing a great job for Coach Sumlin, and I really appreciate Coach Sumlin giving a young lady an opportunity, in football to help their school. It just, this week makes it a little bit tougher.
What's her role?
She's the director of on-campus recruiting for the football program. So, all right.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Okay, guys.